Let's go. Y'all ready? One more time. Pull up. Ukraine versus Russia. Trump says, I know when they're trying to play us. Hold up. That's right, y'all. Let's get these pores open. Let's get these pores open. Let's get these pores open. And ain't nobody do biz me. I'm just so fresh and so clean. Hey everybody, what's good with y'all? How y'all doing? Probably still feeling the remnants of yesterday because it's what? It's Monday, the 21st. That's right, y'all. 2025. I'm your host, Bugatti NYC, and this is our bottom line, where we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that and that, where we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that. Just got me pissed. Hey, everybody. It's 6 o'clock. Y'all know what time it is. Rise and shine, hustle and grind. Hope everybody had a fantastic Easter. Hope everybody is good this morning under the sound of my voice. What's good, everybody? What y'all got going on this morning? How many people going to work? How many people staying home? I know I'm at work and we ready to get it in here at our bottom line. What's good, everybody? Hope everybody's having a fantastic morning. Yes, who we got in the building? Remember, let's see who we got. We got early in the morning riser. We got Batty Lynn chiming in from where? Detroit. That's right, y'all. Y'all know how we go. Let me know where you're chiming in from so I know where you're chiming in from. Okay, Online Poker Rush says China's in trouble, y'all. Already at it. Online is ready. Rebecca, good morning from Grand Rapids, Michigan. There we go. Casey, good morning. So fresh and so clean. 100. There you go. Good morning, Online. Gotti, what's up, Casey? How you doing? So fresh and so clean. What's up, Guy? What's up, everybody, says Guy. That's right, we up in the building right now. Hope everybody's having a fantastic morning because we made it another day. That's the blessing in itself, y'all. We got a lot in the clip. We got a lot to cover. Yesterday was fantastic. I want to know how y'all Easter was. Go ahead and let us know in the comments. I want to know, how was it? Did you guys go to church? Did you eat? Yes, I'm going to say what you did. Such and such did this. That person did this. Yes, I want to know what you guys did yesterday and if you had a good day. That's what we're here to do. And we're here to also do what? Get these clips out there because we got so much to cover today, and that's what we do. It's Monday morning, y'all. It's time to get to work. Can't make no excuses about the weekend because all that is over. It's time to get it. And with that being said, let's get into these titles. Let's go. What do we have on the thumbnail this morning? Ukraine versus Russia. Trump says, I know when they're trying to play us. Now, I don't know if anybody else knows, but that is a New York way of talking. I know y'all ain't trying to play us. Yeah, Trump is actually bringing the queens out when he said that. So he basically said, I know when they're trying to play us. Meaning that Ukraine, Russia, taking a little long time to go ahead and get these peace talks taken care of. So in that regard, I know when they're trying to play us. But we're going to get into that clip because we also have other subcategories such as Putin can smell Trump's defeatism over stalled Ukraine peace talks. There's already a feeling in the air in Russia that Trump and the administration are feeling like they want to just take a back to this situation and not be involved anymore in the peace talks because there's just so much going on that these guys just can't get it right. So Putin, Vladimir, this Putin right here, he's starting to feel that Trump is just like, I'm feeling defeated after all of the stuff that you guys have got going on. So I'm just going to put my hands up in the air and give it up. So that's basically what our second story and clip is about. Then we also have Maine lawmakers blast governor for ruling against protecting against protecting women's sports. Let's do that one more time. Maine lawmakers blast governor for ruling against protecting women's sports. I apologize, you guys. I'm reading that backwards just so you guys can actually see it. You probably won't notice that, but yeah, I have to read that backwards. And what that means is the Maine governor did not side with the Republicans and basically, go ahead and ban men from being in women's sports. They basically went with what's been going on with the common and allowing it. We've got a clip on that. We're going to keep on moving forward to the last but not least story is an FBI raid of the wrong home. The case is now, it's leading to Supreme Court. Okay, FBI raid of wrong home, case now leads to Supreme Court. The FBI raided the wrong house. Now that case is going to be in front of the Supreme Court, guys. We got a lot to cover. Like to get into these clips, so without any further ado, the first thing that I'd like to get into is the talks about Russia, Ukraine, where we're at right now, and what the president plans on doing. But this is at the Dr. Oz swearing in, because as you guys probably know, Dr. Oz was sworn in as the head of Medicaid and Medicare. Very interesting. We're going to see what happens with that. So let's keep on going right here. Check this out.
Talks about that. You can have all the eggs you want. We have too many eggs. In fact, if anything, the prices are getting too low. So I just want to let you know, prices are down. Gasoline yesterday in 3 states hit $1.98 a gallon. And it looks like it's at a level that it hasn't seen since my days, my 4 years. So it's about I'd say maybe, I think we're going to be averaging $2.25 very soon. So I just want to let you know, though, because I keep hearing about prices and inflation. Prices are coming down, not going up. Only the fake news says they're going up. The only thing that's even...
I have a question here. Do you guys see the food prices going up and down? I don't see any change with food. If not, do you guys think that these guys are price gouging and trying to keep the prices the way that they are? Because if gasoline prices are coming down, what we heard is that once energy prices come down, the food prices should come down as well. Am I right on that? Let me know what you guys have to say about that, because I don't see any difference in the supermarkets.
And our interest rates, and if we had a Fed chairman that understood what he was doing, interest rates would be coming down too. He should bring them down. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, what do you need to see from both sides in order to keep negotiations going? What do you want to see from Russia and Ukraine?
I have to see, my whole life has been one big negotiation, and I know when people are playing us, and I know when they're not, and I have to see an enthusiasm to want to end it. And I think I see that enthusiasm. I think I see it from both sides.
Do you think Russia's
But you're going to know soon.
Do you think Russia's playing you?
No, nobody's playing me. I'm trying to help. This was Biden's war, by the way. By me getting involved, they'll say, oh, it's Trump. This is not Trump's war. This is Biden. This is a war that should have never happened. Okay? Think of it. Those cities are crushed and crashed, and all those beautiful steeples, the most beautiful in the world, actually considered the most beautiful in the world, most of them are now smashed to smithereens, as they say, and lying on the ground in a million pieces. Those towns are crushed, the whole place. It's so horrible. And millions of people are dead, far more than you think. That's one thing you're going to get out of this war. You're going to find out that your estimates are far lower than, it's far worse than people think.
So yeah, we got over here where they're thinking that on the other side of it, because if the question is being asked, is that the possibility of what's going on? Is Putin trying to play us? And does he feel that Trump admits defeatism over the stalled Ukraine peace talks? Okay, we're going to go here right now and see what's going on with that. Let's go.
Back with us again is Massachusetts Congressman Jake Auchincloss. Congressman, I want to ask you about this alleged peace deal the White House is trying to negotiate. President Trump has said negotiations between Ukraine and Russia are, quote, coming to a head, and is insisting that neither side is playing him. But we've also got Secretary of State Marco Rubio warning that the U.S. may try to, quote, move on from trying to broker a peace deal if no progress is made soon. What do you make of these somewhat mixed messages, and do you think this is something the administration can accomplish?
Before there are negotiations, there has to be a decision from the administration about whether it wants to win this war or not. 50 years ago, Ronald Reagan, looking at the Cold War as president, said to his staff, We win, they lose. And that's what happened. Now, Donald Trump has looked at Ukraine and said, we lose, they win. And Vladimir Putin can smell that sense of defeatism, and he's going to take advantage of it because he understands and respects one language only, and that is strength, and Donald Trump is weak.
Okay, that was a personal opinion, and now just for you saying that, I'm gonna do something I don't normally do. MSDNC. So you guys, I need you to understand, I understand that this is the other side speaking. You don't even have to say it in the comments. But just because of what he just said, pow, got him right back. So he gotta go too. Because we don't play that over here. But we let them get their information out. Why? Because we want them to stick their heads out of the hole so we can see what they have to say. Don't wait. You don't punch somebody in the face until you find out what they got to say. First you find out, then you do what you got to do. And we keeping it moving, y'all, because we got this crazy FS shooting that happened, and there's a lot of details about about this person. The history revealed that they're saying that he was kidnapped by his mom, supposedly. The FSU shooting that just happened, that no one's really covering. Yeah, we're covering it. Let's go. We've been covering this for a few days now because it happened. 2 people have lost their lives and a bunch of other people have been injured. So yeah, we're gonna cover this. Okay, I think, yeah, we're gonna cover this. Oh, excuse me, guys. Y'all do me a favor, when you're chiming in, let me know where you're chiming in from so that I can make sure to get content from where you're from as well. And I like to do that so that we have common conversations.
Stop asking research questions to ChatGPT. Its answers are not reliable, and they are...
And we are also learning more about the suspected gunman here. Tallahassee police identifying the shooting suspect as 20-year-old Phoenix Eichner, a student at Florida State University and the stepson of a Leon County Sheriff's Office deputy. At a news conference, Tallahassee's police chief said Eichner declined to talk to law enforcement about the shooting, invoking his Fifth Amendment right. Friday, new reports came out detailing a custody fight reportedly between Eichner's biological mother and dad several years earlier. According to those court documents, when Eichner was 11, 9 years before the Florida State shooting, his biological mother reportedly took him to Norway, which was a violation of the custody agreement.
I'm going to say something that you guys may get angry with me about, but I'm going to take the hit myself. I got a big head, but this dude got a real big head. He's on the screen right now. I got a question. He looks like he has some sort of syndrome that's down or some sort of thing that's over him. I mean, he was in college, no doubt. But that head right there, he probably exactly was the head of his class. No pun intended, but that's a big head right there. And a lot of people that have heads like that, they have Down syndrome. And it looks like the possibility of it in his face. I am not a doctor to be able to diagnose this. For the people who have taken this in the wrong way, I apologize. It's just a question.
According to that complaint, the mom allegedly said that she and Eichner were going to South Florida, but then fled to Norway, where she reportedly had dual citizenship. Eichner's dad sent texts and emails to the mother asking when she would return with their son, but reportedly would get vague replies. That's according to that complaint. A judge found there was probable cause that the mother had violated that custody agreement. In the complaint, Eichner's dad reportedly expressed concern that their son suffered from, quote, developmental delays and, quote, has special needs that would not be taken care of unless he was in the U.S. It also alleged that Eichner suffers from ADHD. Records show that a judge ordered the mom to return to the U.S. with Eichner and threatened to give the father sole custody. That case ended with a plea agreement. Again, that is according to records, which you can see right there on the right-hand side of your screen.
So I'm thinking that he should have stayed where he was at. And, you know, that probably would have never happened. Probably would have happened somewhere else. But from everything that we're seeing here, with all of these cases and everything, he had a very rough upbringing as well as having the mental situations of instability. I'm in the comments, y'all. I want to know what you guys got to say about this. Car care, the future is grim. Frederick Wright says he looks like all that. Poor little devil, says Mr. R. Graham says S. Epstein. What else we got? Graham says plus Donnie and... Okay, what we got? Car care says learning problems is educated people dysfunctions. What else we got? Dot Focus says top of the morning. Dot Focus, top of the morning. Frederick Wright says 100%. Jamie Tucker laughed for my ass off. Carcast says, yep. Online Poker Rush, yes, Mr. R. And they go to insult or get violent. Frederick says, hi. What up, Frederick? Okay, ALC and Fox is the worst mix. We don't worry about all of that. Online Poker Rush says, and I don't mean adamant. I mean that he is adamantly rash, but it's about time. America needs that. Okay, what else we got up here? We got a lot of conversation going on. We got bioweapon, we got Tucker, we got Missouri. All right, y'all. Y'all want to keep on seeing this? I want y'all to see a little more so y'all know we're
Months
dealing.
later, Eichner's mother filed a slander lawsuit against Eichner's father and wife. That lawsuit dismissed. It does not appear that either family member has publicly commented on that 2015 investigation, the lawsuit, or the shooting itself. Tallahassee Police Chief Lawrence Revel said Eichner used a handgun in the alleged shooting and that he also had a shotgun with him, though it was not clear if he had actually fired that weapon. Again, this investigation is ongoing. The police chief there saying he does not know of a possible motive just yet. In the meantime,
Yeah, instability, crazy growing up, crazy grow up. Yeah, man, like yeah, like I said, if he would have probably stayed in Norway where his mom took him to, that probably would have never happened. They probably need to be brought up on charges themselves. This is when the parents need to be involved. How you get all these weapons? What's going on with that? And if he has some sort of mental instability, how did he get a permit if he had one? A lot of questions. I'm going to follow up on all of that stuff just so you guys and we could know what the hell is going on here. Because also I got this crazy other story where Maine lawmakers, Republican lawmakers are blasting Democrats because the governor has sided with going to the other side, which means that they're going to continue to allow men and female sports in Maine. And there's a lot of lawmakers that are peed off about this. I know I am. I'm glad that I don't live in Maine. But yeah, that's what's going on right now. They're saying that she's out of touch because of what she's doing here. And, you know, this only happened because of a tweet that one of the lawmakers said. And now because of a tweet, she cannot speak and she's been censored on the floor. And this is like for the rest of her term, like until 2027. So my question is she effective at all in her position if she can't speak or make votes on the floor?
A social media post in February calling out a biological male who won a women's pole vaulting competition, leading to this Maine representative, Laura Libby, being censored. And now a Biden-appointed judge has ruled against her effort to have that censure overturned. But she isn't giving up. State lawmaker Laura Libby joins us now. You must be so disappointed. First of all, welcome and happy Easter. And you must be terribly disappointed by this ruling. You say you're going to keep going. What does that look like?
It certainly is disappointing, Rachel, and I had hoped for the best, but I'm also not terribly surprised. And we will continue fighting. We will appeal this ruling. But it's tremendously disappointing for my 9,000 constituents who are disenfranchised by my inability to speak or vote on the House floor. And that's really the most disappointing piece of this, because I certainly want to be able to represent them well. And at the moment, I can't speak on their behalf.
So explain, I mean, I've been hearing this story for a while. I'm still confused. So you said the truth in a social media post that a boy was a boy and was competing in a girls' sport, pole vaulting, and now you can't represent your own constituents because they said you're not allowed to speak?
Correct. The Democrat majority in the Maine House of Representatives voted, it was a very partisan vote, 75-70 to censure me. And as a consequence of that censure, I am not allowed to vote or speak on the floor until I apologize. Now, of course, Rachel, I'm not going to apologize for speaking the truth. And so until I have recourse from the courts, I will be unable to speak or vote for the rest of my term, which lasts until 2027.
So yeah, like, are you going to be effective now? Like, she can't speak for her constituents. She can't speak for people under her. And was that right for them to get together like that? And, censor her like that. That's pretty crazy. I want to know what you guys think about this. Kendra, what are you laughing at? What are you laughing at, Kendra? Good morning. Tim Harsh says Mr. Rogers is rolling in his own grave. That was a good one, Tim. That one guy says nope. Online Poker Rush says, and it's dangerous in certain sports. That one guy says, Knots boy, LOL. Guy, what that was, a man? Yep, that was a man. That definitely was. Tim Harsh says, good morning to Kendra. That one guy said, mad she got 5th place. Walkabout Richard says, defective. Kendra, what's up, Tim? Love, legal brief. What else we got here? Come on and double tap that screen, y'all. Double tap that screen to get those likes up. Y'all already know what it is. Kendra says, double tap that screen and let me know what's going on here. Let me know that y'all got some love. Dr. Ass Naked. What? Come get this. What? You out of here, homeboy. Bang. Boom. Crazy. Where did you come from? You are really bugging. I want you guys to let me know what y'all think about this censoring that's going on. Because, like, if she can't speak for her own constituents, this is ridiculous. Like, what effectiveness does she have? And because of a tweet, yes, we know that the effectiveness of a tweet, TikTok, a Facebook post, Instagram post can get you fired. But basically, she said the truth about what the guy was. And now they got together, all of the Democrats, and they voted her out. I don't think that that's something that she should be able to be voted out for. I really don't think so, especially when the last person that we saw got screamed at the president, shaking his stick, and nothing happened to him, right? Remember that? Yeah, so this is pretty crazy right here over a tweet. I actually don't support this at all, because I do not support men in women's sports at all. And this is sad for Maine. This is really bad for Maine right now, that she can't do anything until 2027. So yeah, we got to move right along, because we could keep on looking at that, but what? We're going to get the same result, because we already know what happened out of it. So yeah, we got to keep on moving, y'all. And yo, do me a favor, like I always tell you, because ain't nobody doing it. Y'all forgetting. Chime in. Let me know where you're chiming in from, so I could know, so I can keep on getting content from where you guys are at. Also, if you appreciate what we're doing right now, go ahead and hit that like button by double tapping that screen. We still got some situations going on in New York where it's pretty bad, and I'm just going to go there because the federal government is being pushed back again due to the congestive pricing. Congestive pricing was supposed to end yesterday on Easter Sunday, but due to Kathy Hochul-Jochel and her administration ignoring the federal government's instructions, now they're in court. So people are saying that this congestive pricing thing could push all the way into the fall, because there's no conversations really going on about where it's at. So that means you and I could allegedly continue to be ripped off when we go downtown and drive our vehicles. You're paying $14 if you do not have an Easy Pass, and $9 if you do. That is ridiculous, especially if you have a job and you're already paying federal taxes, because that's for roads anyway, right? That's what I'm talking about, the alleged theft. And I also say, if she loses in court, they need to refund that money to all of the people. Not just say, okay, you know what, it's congested pricing is over, and get rid of it. No, get rid of it and refund the money to the people that you allegedly stole it from.
The MTA is ignoring the Easter deadline to turn off the congestion pricing gantries. The Trump administration ordered the tolling be shut off today. This while the lawsuit is still playing out in federal court, with the MTA and Governor Hochul fighting to keep the tolls active. Fox 5's Michelle Ross joins us live under the gantry on the east side. And Michelle, what's the latest on this fight between New York and the feds?
That's right, Arthur. Here on 2nd Avenue, the tolls are still up and running, as well as the rest of the city. Now, that deadline was initially set for March 21st last month, but then was pushed back a month to today, Easter Sunday. This happened after the MTA challenged the decision by the U.S. DOT to rescind federal approval. But according to the Riders Alliance, this could go on for the next couple of months into the fall.
So, just several days ago that the federal government agreed to litigate this over at least several months, really taking the sting or the meaning out of that deadline of April 20th, the deadline that is passing today. And so we know the congestion pricing is going to be with us for the next several months, but I would wager for the long haul. It's just working that well, and the federal government's case is that weak.
The Riders...
It's working that well to keep on getting money from us, and the federal government's case is that weak. You see that? So basically, we're done for. If you live in New York, get ready for congestion pricing to continue and to increase.
Alliance advocated for congestion pricing and is part of the federal case against the government trying to take congestion pricing away. Now, the tolls are meant to reduce traffic below 60th Street.
Now, y'all tell me that don't make that makes some kind of sense right here. Did y'all see that price right there? Tell me now. Come on, $9 tolls by mail higher rate. It says congestion relief zone car toll for Easy Pass is $9. Now the toll by mail is a higher rate. That's that other $5 for processing. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. $14. Overnight is $225 because there's not that many people, I guess, coming through this area. But still, $225 to go from 60th Street to 57th Street to 58th Street. All you're doing is passing the street. So, and all of the money going where? To the train station. Nothing to do with the roads. Alleged theft. Yeah, real talk. Now, so y'all tell me this is not crazy. You might as well go outside now and set up something to break the roads down and stand there with your friends and say y'all got to pay a toll in order to get through here, because it's the same thing. It's like a neighborhood toll set up by allegedly crooked governor to get kickbacks and go to the MTA. I'm making a big deal out of it because you guys don't realize that New York City in our state is a forecast state. So if they start seeing this work, it's coming to your state because they're going to say what? Hey, it worked in New York, so why don't we do it over here? Now, what y'all got to say about that? Natalie says professional thieves. There you go. Thank you, Natalie. Corey 420 says I would take my tags off or cover them up and not pay that toll. Okay, so now, just so you know, the police are set up at every single toll, and just for that, also they're automatically reading your license plate so they can pull you over for any prior tickets. This is a full-scale alleged ripoff with the support of the oink oink, the pigs out there making sure that you can't do stuff like that because they're clamping down on exactly what you just said. On exactly what you just said, Corey 420. Car Care says we need to deport. Jamie Tucker says I thought they named them so they are private. What else we got? Corey Car Care, and it's that mentality that's a problem. What else we got? Walkabout Richard said here in England, your taxes on top of taxi may tax my children. There you go. That money gonna be taxed till we out of here, right? Walkabout. Mr. Good Citizen said the turnpike is a toll road and is owned by the state. It's public and we pay for it. There you go. Thank you, Mr. Good Citizen. Car Care says bankers own everything, not the public. Corey 420, we the people on those roads, toll roads, and private roads. You can't charge people a toll for publicly owned roads. There you go, Corey. Thank you so much. Making sense. Do not apologize. We don't negotiate with terrorists, says Mr. Good Citizen. Natalie Georgievich, good morning. Where are the lawsuits against this scam? That's what I want to know. Why is everybody so quiet about it? What the hell is going on? Quana says robbed grandma and me. Okay. What else? Oh, another thing too, y'all. This is what they're doing. They're trying to push you onto the train station because they want that money too. It's $2.90 to ride the subway. The most expensive subway that is in the country right now. $2.90. Notice how the congestive pricing was $2.25 in the evening. So yeah, they're making their mark. And then $9 just to move about in the city. Yeah. Just to come out in Queens if you want to drive your car. Oh no, we don't want you to drive your car. Drive the train. Ride the train so you can get knocked in your head and possibility of not making it back home. That's what Kathy Jokel Hochul allegedly is basically about. Because again, there's no police. You have to look at things and make it make sense. How are they going to protect us in the train stations if there's no police? Must make sense. Like, what's going on with that? And the police are concentrated where? In that other place that we just talked about. The toll roads and places like that. They don't care about your safety. The only time that the police have a mass presence in the train station is after something happens, because they're the ATF, after the fact. Running around like Benny Hill, Keystone Cops. Yeah, that's what happens in New York. after the fact. You be stabbed, already hurt, bleeding out. They're talking about, oh, we saw it on, we got it on video, already dead on the ground somewhere. Or we gonna look at the videotape. How about some sort of presence to deter that from happening? Oh, yo, I'm gonna chill because it'd be mad police over here. Now it's the opposite. There ain't no police out here. Do what you do. Give me that. Drill, baby, drill. On the street now, but a different kind of drill. Yeah, drilling for real. Let me keep on going, y'all, because this is what we have to do when it comes to dealing with minerals, even if we pull them from our own earth. Guess what? China still has to process our minerals and send them back to us. So now what are we going to do about that? We're talking about minerals now. We jumped from the nutso New York, and now we went to minerals because we're keeping it crazy, something that you guys didn't know. And if you got 3 minutes, you might want to see this next clip because it's about exactly what I said. Even if we dig for minerals, we don't process those minerals. We got to send them to China and wait for everything to be extracted, the copper, the zinc, or whatever is in it, and sent back to us. So we still got to deal with China no matter what. Check this out. And this is not a good thing because we're trying to cut the cord, the umbilical cord from dealing with China. I think you guys need to see this.
You said you have confidence in the president's tariff strategy. Obviously, China is one of the big sticking points here. And this idea of rare earth minerals, we get most of ours from them. And I know we have deposits here, but I was surprised to read that even some of what we mine here, we send to them for processing, and then it comes back to us. What can we do domestically to cut China out of that equation?
Well, Shannon, you've got it just right because there's both the material and then the processing. And this began you go back to Obama, Biden administration. We've basically been a war on mining in this country for anything, not just rare earth minerals, critical minerals, but base minerals that we would have. And so under President Trump, it's not just drill, baby, drill. It's going to be map, baby, map, which is we've got these materials in our country, but then also mine, baby, mine. And what President Trump is getting done right now, and there's one project which is going to be announced, Resolution Copper Mine. This has been a 30-year saga in terms of getting permitting, and in 3 months, President Trump has got this rolling again. And of course, copper is key for electronics. It's key for military uses. And we've also, there's a special, under the powers of the emergency authorities, the energy emergency have, which includes the critical minerals that President Trump wisely put in place on day one. There had been only 2 mining projects ever that had been put on under an authority called Fast 41, which is an accelerated permitting. President Trump added 10 more mining projects to that this week, and all of these things are going to help us in the competition against China, who's really cornered the world market around many of these important minerals.
Yeah, and it makes it tough for us, obviously, in these negotiations when they even hint at a threat of us not having access to them. You've called China the biggest threat to this country. So where do we go in this tariff fight? How difficult do you think it is going to be to get to an agreement on things that will actually settle this?
Well, I have a lot of confidence in President Trump to be able to negotiate deals. We've got one of the best negotiators, probably the best negotiating. He's the only president we've ever had who literally wrote a book on negotiating. So I have a lot of confidence in him, but we've also have a lot of cards in our favor because China imports 11.5 million barrels of oil a day. They import about 25% of the calories they consume every day. And so when we think about the U.S. and us as being a superpower, we're an energy superpower, we're a food superpower, and China is highly dependent. So we've allowed ourselves to become dependent on their supply chains for critical minerals. That's the one piece that we've got to undo. And of course, with the actions of the National Energy Dominance Council, which President Trump created, coordinating across the whole of government, whether it's Chris Wright in energy, Brooke Mullins in agriculture, Lee Zeldin, Howard Lutnick, everybody's working together. He gives the assignment, we all work together.
Hey guys, I need to know that. We need to know that. It's information that nobody ever said. I never knew anything about what he just explained. I didn't even know that we had to send our stuff over there to get sorted. And yeah, we need to be more controlling of what we do because if we're going to drill, baby, drill, we need to be able to process, baby, process, don't we? Going to go over to this Easter prayer that the president was a part of. Yes, we're going to keep it going, you guys. I'm coming to the comments after this. But yeah, I want you guys to see what's going on with this Easter prayer. That was pretty cool yesterday. I want you guys to see how this went down. Check this out.
President Trump issued a Palm Sunday message ahead of Holy Week. He said, and I'm quoting now, "This Holy Week, Melania and I join in prayer with Christians celebrating the crucifixion and resurrection of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, the living Son of God who conquered death, freed us from sin, and unlocked the gates of heaven for all of humanity. We pray that America will remain a beacon of faith, hope, and freedom for the entire world. And we pray to achieve a future that reflects the truth, beauty, and goodness of Christ's eternal kingdom in heaven." Jonathan Morris, our resident theologian, joins me now. I thought that was, I'm going to say, the most Christian-centered statement I've ever heard from any president. What say you?
Yeah, what I would say is somebody else wrote that for him. And that's how it's supposed to happen. You're supposed to have experts on theology writing theological statements. But in this case, the president did the right thing. He established a faith office. In other words, he's taking religion seriously. You're not going to have the president write an economic statement, right? A detailed economic statement. No, you're going to have somebody an economist, and then he's going to sign off on that. He has signed off on this, and you're exactly right, Stu. This is not only a very Christian statement, but it's theologically very sound. It's the center of Christianity.
And you don't hear that from other presidents. I mean, this is Palm Sunday he put this out. And Palm Sunday with other presidents, they dance around the issue of Christianity.
The religion of political correctness overtook our country for a very long time. And you had presidents putting out blah, vanilla statements on things that you would never do about economics or some other serious theme.
I would say that's because of another chamber or another sort of DEI sentiment, where it's not DEI, but where they take away certain things, where they take away, let's say, for instance, prayer in school, where they take away, things like Aunt Jemima off the box of syrup, stuff like that. Well, basically, they try to stay politically correct, and they try to stay so politically correct that they don't want to shake up any specific area or religion. Take this, for instance. We just played something about Christians. What if another race of people would get peed off that we don't play their clip or something of that nature? Same thing, when you're someone in power and you're a scared politician, you want to try to cater to everybody. What do they say? You got to kiss people and pick up babies and stuff like that when you're a politician. So that's been the sentiment, and that's been the problem. They've been playing politician for so long with the facade, with the monetary, because they have so much money to market and get themselves to be that politician. Because in reality, the more money you have to promote, 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to win. Well, I'm sorry about that, but unless you're Kamala Harris. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole here. But that's basically what I'm trying to say in a nutshell. Our past presidents, they're trying to say they feel as if they were too political and not even pinpointing when it comes down to specific religions. That's what I take out of that. I'm in the comments, want to know what you guys got to say. We got much more coming up. Don't leave. Do me a favor, double tap that screen if you guys appreciate the content, because this is what we do. Also, wherever you're tapping in from, let me know so that we can get some clips from where you are and we can have relevant conversations. Casey says, car care, quit while you're ahead. Uh-oh, car care acting up again. What else we got up in here? What else we got up in here? Switch. Yeah, countries are moving away from America following these tariffs. When you have an agreement that was thrown into the mud, there is no way you would sign up for another one to refine oil. There you go. There you go. Marielle, they got you for your message, huh? Malcolm says, Christ is, okay, what else we got? I'm going to say that. Malcolm says, Christ has risen. Happy Easter from Canada. What's up, Canada? How y'all doing up in Canada? Okay. I ain't saying that, car care. Malcolm says, praise Jesus. Casey says, car care, you're bugging. Car care, that's 2 right there. That's 2 people already. Okay, Quana Parker says, speaking Londa, car care. Okay, car care, you gotta go. It was nice knowing you, but you just said, car care, you just said, Jesus Christ the fraud. You've been with us for a very long time. You gotta go. Gotta go. Boom! Out of here. Hate to do it. Damn, car care. Damn. Tweaking says, dog Girl, you want the world to work together for America. Kendra Walker says 630. Now, we ain't worrying about the likes, Kendra, because we up on the numbers. We killing it right now. Don't even worry about the likes. We rocking. We killing them right now. We going to keep on going because we got this anti-Trump situation that happened in Chicago yesterday. Did you guys know that there was a Trump protest that filled up the entire Daily Plaza yesterday out in Chicago? I want you guys to check this out because there's a lot of pushback. We got to understand something, and that's why I did play that clip earlier from what I called MSDNC. I play both sides of the clips, meaning I let you see the stuff that you don't like, and I let you see that the stuff that you do believe that you agree with. That means I may play something on Fox, and I also may play something on MSNBC. Over here at Our Bottom Line, what we do is we focus on the message, not the messenger. Because what if someone is screaming fire? Are you going to look at that person and say, I don't like him, so I'm not going to run? You want to investigate first, right? So we do not kill the messenger over here. We let them stick their head out the hole, and once they say something stupid, we investigate it, and if it's BS, boom, then they're out of here. But we have to have them give a chance to say the crap for us to investigate. This way we can have it on file that they said that crap. Let's get on over here and get this other clip going right here, because I want you guys to see what's going on at this anti-Trump rally in Daily Plaza yesterday.
For the second time this month, Daily Plaza filled up, city streets shut down for an anti-Trump protest. Today, demonstrators in Chicago coincided with protests all over the country. Arnold Brennan was on the ground listening to that crowd that carried signs and marched through the loop.
The more people come out, the quicker the government will change.
A sea of people at Daily Plaza want to turn the tide of the Trump administration.
There's a lot of energy. People are very upset right now.
The gathering, called the People's Protest, is organized by the 50-51 movement.
50 states, 50 protests, one movement.
The protest in Chicago is part of a national movement.
And this is nationwide.
Calling on the government to uphold the Constitution.
I wrote, the Constitution doesn't swipe left or right.
And end executive overreach.
They were talking about the Constitution, due process. We're talking about free speech here.
Protesters carry signs promoting democracy and opposing actions of President Trump. At least one protester doesn't need a sign.
I really believe in power of the people.
Because she's dressed as a symbol.
I've been taking a beating. I'm off my pedestal and got knocked down by really thugs and tyrants.
Lady Liberty says she fears for her future.
So many loved ones are hurting, whether it's economically or because they worry about ICE or because they are trans or gay.
It's the second Saturday in 2 weeks that a protest against President Trump has taken over Daily Plaza.
I tell you one thing, that'd be a phenomenal Halloween suit, and she had a message behind that. You know, even if you don't believe in what somebody has to say, that was a strong message that she was giving when she had the way that she broke that down. Also, I myself have no particular party, just so you guys know. I'm not a Republican, I'm not a Democrat, and I'm not an independent. I'm a human being. That's why we created Our Bottom Line. The focus here is to play video clips, have a community of where you can say what you want to say, and then have a lot of people give an opinion. Normally, yes, you can play video clips on your own. You got your own TV, you got your own YouTube, but you don't really have the place that you can come to and have a community where people can actually join in. So therefore, that's why we created Our Bottom Line. Just so you guys know that. I know I haven't said it in a while, but there's new people here, and I like to explain the reason why we ask for likes, because we like to get more people over here, and that's what that does when we hit those likes. And to explain what we do at Our Bottom Line. We're almost at 40,000 subscribers. We would love to get to that point. So if you're interested in becoming a subscriber, I would really appreciate that. Become a member if you want to. But right now, just double tap that screen if you appreciate the content. You know, we understand, you know, sometimes you don't got it like that in the pocket, so we don't really ask for money. Still, we got the coffee in the kitchen. But we really like to try to get those likes up, because what that does is gets more people over here to make them aware of the channel. We've got some great mods. We got Kendra, we got Mary, we got Rebecca. We got some great people that always come here. Sadly, we just lost somebody. Hopefully he comes to the comments. I mean, to the email, and we have a conversation, because you do get a chance to come back over here after you get shot down, just so you know. If we ever take you out of here, you want to email me, we have a conversation, and we go over what you're talking about, and I find out that you're not a bot. you do have the chance of coming back to get back over here. Car Kid, if you're still watching, get in the email, man. You gotta avenge yourself, because that was pretty crazy, and you can't say stuff like that about my Lord and Savior. We don't play that around here. And we're gonna keep on moving, because Chinese people, they're totally dreading what's going on with these Chinese companies. Projects are sparking anti-China outcry. Thailand buildings are shaking and coming down. So Thailand companies, as well as workers, do not want Chinese workers to come over there and build buildings, because things like this may happen when you get them to come over there and build buildings. Earthquake, boom, entire building came down. Then when it comes down to getting paid for the work that these laborers are putting in, they didn't even want to pay them. So just guess what happened? These laborers went to this construction site with hopes to get paid. They didn't get paid. They were, protesting, and all of a sudden an earthquake came and brought the whole building down. Check this out. Now, you guys tell me if this was the power of something or what everybody else is really saying. Shabby workmanship. Check this out.
A growing wave of frustration against Chinese investments is sweeping through Thailand. Recently, a major disaster has fueled public outrage, with many now questioning the role of Chinese companies in the country. On March 28th, the State Audit Office tower in Bangkok, built by China Railway No. 10 Engineering Group, collapsed during an earthquake. It was the only building in the city to collapse, leaving 103 people injured or dead. While the tragedy has sparked mourning, it has also reignited long-standing resentment towards Chinese enterprises operating in Thailand. As public attention turned to concerns about low-quality infrastructure projects under the Belt and Road Initiative, new information surfaced. Reports revealed that China Railway No. 10 Engineering Group had already been delaying wage payments to workers before the collapse. This added to the negative perception of Chinese firms in Thailand. A video published by the media outlet Thai Today has circulated widely on X. It shows Thai workers protesting outside the State Audit Office tower before it collapsed. They were demanding unpaid wages and clashing with site representatives.
You guys said you take the money from the bank loan to pay us, but you haven't. We've talked about this multiple times, not just once. I've spoken to you 3 times already. Who decides this, you or me? Doesn't matter whether you have money or not. You need to find a way to pay us. You promised the money would come from the financing. If that wasn't the case, we would have quit a long time ago. It was you who asked us to work. You asked us personally. You wanted us to do the job. That's why I came. You even asked me to bring more people because there weren't enough hands. So I brought people to help. But now, after finishing the work, we still haven't been paid. Do you expect me to just sit here and do nothing? I have a wife and kids to take care of. I need money. I've spoken to you 3 times already, and each time you act like nothing's wrong, doing nothing at all. You keep saying you'll help, but what exactly have you done for us? We've signed 3 or 4 contracts, all signed by top leaders, but after signing, no one does anything. No one is taking responsibility. Right now, I'm in serious debt. It's not a small amount. It's all borrowed money. Please, listen to me. Just pay us and let's finish this. We've done the work. We're not here begging for handouts.
The video has sparked intense discussion online. Many comments criticized the situation.
So check this out. Now, I did a lot more research on this, and then I just had a regular thought to myself. I said to myself, people in China don't get paid that much. They don't get thousands of dollars. They don't even get paid a minimum wage like we do. So they're already under the medium when it comes down to the cost of living, right? They can't even afford the products that they make. Come to find out that yesterday. They can't. A common Chinese worker cannot afford an iPad on the money that they actually make. They also, every month, they do, like he said, they incur debt. From China, the average person that has a home, they have a $3,000 income with a $10,000 monthly overhead that they have to pay, which kind of always keeps them under the wage gap. They're always striving to make it. So little times like that, when they get friction, when they don't have money, it can really hurt them. Like times of right now, they're only showing one thing. Yes, we're hurting over here because of tariffs and because we're not doing business with China. But understand, they manufacture and they make those products that we purchase from them. So all of the workers, not the rich people that are their bosses, the workers are feeling the bite right now. So us plus those Chinese workers, those assembly people on those lines, those people that make those iPads and those people that make those little toys, keychains, trinkets and stuff like that, if they're not able to work, they're not able to maintain. And they can't go months of living like that. So let's keep on going, you guys. What else we got? We got this congressman who questions destruction during the Bedford ICE arrest. Officers are seen bashing. Oh, this is what happened over here. Okay, we got this congressman that's questioning that's questioning of a destruction of Bedford ICE arrest. So what happened is in Bedford, there was a group of ICE agents making an arrest, but the way that they were going about it was very forceful. They were using weapons to break in, a big hammer sort of a deal to break the windows out of this individual's car windows, and that's how they got him out. So now this congressman over there, of course, is fighting back, and they want to take him to court because of the way that they went about making the arrest. I want to say I do think that the arrest was a bit, agitated. They did use a lot of force in breaking the windows out of this guy's car and dragging him out like that. But, we kind of get used to stuff like that, Sad to say it, Probably was a big thing to him, but a lot of my brothers and people that I know, I'm sure they could say, oh, that happened to me before. Sadly, but yeah. I want you guys to see this right here because it's intense and it actually just happened recently.
Court date has now been set for the Guatemalan man who was First tonight, a court date has now been set for the Guatemalan man who was detained in New Bedford after ICE agents broke through his car window. But his attorney says no criminal charges have been filed. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kim Kalunian.
I'm Mike Montecalvo. 12 News reporter Alex Torres Perez goes over the latest developments in this case and what his wife is saying about the frightening ordeal. Alex?
Juan Francisco Mendez has a virtual hearing scheduled for May 8th, despite his attorney saying there are no criminal charges filed against him. His wife tells me she still can't believe what happened.
I never imagined agents will go to that extreme. Marilu Domingo Ortiz is trying to remain strong for her husband and 9-year-old son, who keeps asking when his dad is coming home. I told the official, with all due respect, you're taking my husband unjustly. And he told me, I don't care. So what else could I tell him?
Their attorney Ondine Sniffen says she's doing what she can to get him out of a detention facility in New Hampshire, but it's been a challenge as no criminal charges have been filed.
I believe because they really don't have anything on my client. He has no criminal background. He has no prior immigration violations.
An ICE spokesperson says Juan Francisco Mendez entered the U.S. illegally without being inspected, but Sniffen argues he's in the middle of a months-long waiting list to receive the same asylum status his wife and son have. Still, ICE says Francisco Mendez refused to comply and defended the agent's actions. Former Bristol County Sheriff Tom Hodgson adding that it could have put the agents' lives at risk, despite the video showing the couple telling agents they were waiting for their attorney to get there.
If you want your lawyer, the time to get your lawyer is after it's all over. Go to court, and if you think there wasn't probable cause, then that's the time for you to object to it.
However, the arrest has Massachusetts U.S. Representative Bill Keating questioning the use of force. He wrote DHS a letter demanding answers saying, quote, there is no excuse for how the Mendez family is being treated. Marilu adds she's not against the work ICE agents do.
But when they detain someone, it should be the person they're looking for who are...
Yeah, that's pretty intense right there. I don't know what you guys got to say about it because it could be looked at in more than one way. I know a lot of people say, hell with him, get him out of here, any kind of way you got to do it. But there's still morality in doing certain things. And also, those guys didn't want to wait for no lawyer to show up. Do you think so? I want to know what you guys got to say about this. I'm in the comments, y'all. Let's go. We got YouTube news. Only American citizens get due process. What we got here? Brian says the dude wouldn't comply and open the door. What is going on? They are illegal. Question mark. There you go. They are illegal. He says, yeah, NY. What else you got? Kendra Walker says, wow, right? That's crazy, right? Tweak and Panda says they do things Americans would never accept. Casey Ramos says, damn, is that Bedford? Yep, it damn sure is. But can't tell when Trump played America, huh? Question mark. Jamie Tucker says, we probably own it. Lawsuit alone. Yeah, lawsuit alone. LOL. Francine says, hi, Kendra. Quana Parker says, Jersey everywhere. What we got here? Black 999C, good morning. I'm not going to say it in the chat, but look it up in the Uyghur Muslims and what China does to them. Oh, okay. Quanda says, ha. Kendra says, at Francine from Jersey. What else we got here? We got Jamie Tucker that says, so does China own the things they're manufacturing? If not, we must own the land. Okay, what else you got here? You got Kyle Moore that says their government supports them a lot more than they do here, though their government will help them through the time. Americans don't get much government assistance. Well, yeah, not Americans, but maybe if you're a legal citizen, you'll get some food stamps, maybe $14,000 on a debit card. Black 999C says social credit might happen in the EU. They're talking about dropping digital currency of the euros in October 2025. Okay, y'all. We're going to keep on moving because we got to get to this FBI raid of the wrong home. Now, this case is headed to the Supreme Court. So, yes, the FBI, they raided a home, and it just so happened to be the opposite of what you guys just saw. Yeah, and this guy's saying that it cost him his childhood. Check this out.
The U.S. Supreme Court will now decide if
Entrepreneurs are a different breed of people.
What makes us different? The U.S. Supreme Court will now decide if a family can get justice after federal agents raid the wrong homes. Let's get right to your chief investigative reporter, Sam Smink, with this national investigation.
Wrong house raids continue to happen across the country. In one particular case, a then 7-year-old boy woke up to find an FBI SWAT team in his bedroom. National investigative reporter Brendan Keefe talks with the family at the center of the case and their fight in front of the Supreme Court.
Police search warrant, come to the door!
Innocent families from Ohio
Police search warrant!
to Missouri,
I just don't understand how they could confuse the addresses.
Kansas,
Guns drawn, there's about 15 cop cars. They're all hiding behind the doors with the guns pointed at my house. They literally came here on a whim thinking that I killed someone.
She and her boyfriend were held in cuffs for an hour before police finally let them go.
Georgia,
Sheriff's officers!
and this home in Atlanta.
I don't feel as if any kid should go through what I went through.
1 second you're sound asleep. The next second, the FBI is in your bedroom.
1 second I'm asleep. Next thing I know, I have a gun pointed at my face.
Gabe Watson was just 7 years old in 2017 when the FBI raided the wrong house in the middle of the night. Did you scream out for your mom? What did you do?
I was actually crying for my mom. I was just crying, hiding under my blankets, holding my hands in the air.
I would fight a lion with my bare hands to protect my child.
Was your hand on the gun or close to it?
At this point, my hand was on the door because they're pulling on the door. The guns is right here, right at my side.
And I was just right here like, please, can I get my son? Can I get my son? And he kept telling me to be quiet, shut up. And I look up, it's just such a flashing light, and I just see SWAT, and I'm like, it can't be SWAT. It can't be SWAT.
Throw me down on the ground, on the floor right here. I was saying to myself, oh my God, I believe they got the wrong house.
The FBI did have a search warrant, but it was for an entirely different address, 3 doors down and across the street. This footage from Atlanta police securing the perimeter is the only video of the raid. You can see the FBI SWAT team walking out of the Martin home. The wrong address clearly visible on the mailbox by the police cars.
Moving down the road. They said we're moving down the road.
So we're not holding perimeter for a moment search?
They said they're moving down the road.
The agents went to the next block and raided the house that was on the original warrant. Your door was off the hinges, right?
It was.
You had no way to secure your home that night.
I spent the night on the couch facing that door because it was open.
And you had no idea what was coming next?
Didn't have any idea what was coming next.
So they knocked the door down, and yes, it was a shocking experience, but in the end, no one was hurt, and it didn't really cost you anything. What has this cost you?
This costed me my childhood, you know?
This is the FBI photo of the target house from earlier surveillance. And this is the Martins house the FBI SWAT team photographed the day before the raid. Wow. You went to court, and the court ruled in favor of the FBI.
Yes.
And then you went to the appeals court, and the appeals court ruled in favor of the FBI.
Yes.
And now we've gone all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court.
Wow. Yeah, y'all. That's what I wanted y'all to see, the breakdowns and where we at right now with it. We ain't gonna see the rest because we gonna keep up with that story. But that's bananas right there. Imagine somebody all of a sudden you sleep, bang, bust up in your crib. You like, what the hell is going on here? What's up? Brian says, I was thrown in jail and kicked out of Mexico for not having a vendor's permit. I didn't whine like a biatch. Black 999 said, when a doctor or a federal agent makes the copies in land, never be a small oopsie, like money, money, money. Betty Lynn says, that is crazy. Did you get a permit? Oh my God. What else we got here? We got, what else we got? We got Axe says, no one was hurt when words are violence. Okay, what else you got here? You got Quana says, read. What else you got? Jamie Tucker says, how dare they break in somebody's house and do something like that, right, Jamie? Lonesome Cowboy says, if this is constantly happening, why are they using a case from 8 years ago? Quana says probably. What else? Black 999C says, is that stream lagging for other people? Nope, it's just you, dog. It's just probably you. We chilling over here. We are chilling over here. Okay. Now we got some nonsense going on over here on this setup. Y'all got to be careful when you're going on a date, especially guys nowadays. A lot of these women don't necessarily like you. Sometimes if they see you got money, if you got something going on, they'll stick around just to steal from you. I've had it happen to me before. Girl acting like she liked me and all of that stuff. Next thing you know, come to my crib. You know, I leave her in the house for a second. I go to the store, come back. Something's like, yo, go check such and such. I go check such and such, and it's all gone. All my money gone. She like, all right, see you later. I'm like, what? And I'm like, yo, come here for a minute. Like, yo, I know you got my money, right? Then she runs to the taxi. This is years ago. She runs to the taxi. I run right in the middle of the street, and I stand in front of the taxi. And now I make all sorts of traffic stop, police come. What are you doing? What are you doing? Get over here. I said, I ain't moving because she got my money. And if I touch her, y'all gonna arrest me. All of a sudden, they went to the back window of the car. She starts throwing the money out of the back window. It goes all on the ground. I gotta run over there, pick up as much as I can, put it in my pockets. Be careful who you're dealing with. I can speak from experience. Lost about $2,000 when the money started going down the street. Be careful when it could happen to you. It could happen to you. Trust me. Because we get somebody close to you, they work on you, make you think that they like you, and next thing you know, they got you. So be careful with people nowadays.
Suspects are charged with murder and robbery and
Yeah, GoDaddy Arrow is so easy. AI built me a website.
Now, 2 young suspects are charged with murder and robbery in a deadly shooting on Indy's north side.
It happened in January. CBS 4's Jesse Wells spoke to the victims' parents today.
According to court records, the murder, which took place right here on this street behind me, stemmed from a date that turned into a robbery. The victim's family hopes both the 19-year-old woman, who's accused of arranging the crime, and her 18-year-old boyfriend, who allegedly committed the shooting, are held accountable for that senseless killing. Jarrell Pryor stayed out of trouble and worked hard raising his daughter Honey until he was set up, ambushed, and shot to death near 49th and Primrose, just north of the state fairgrounds in late January.
I'm broken inside. I'm torn. I'm tore up.
He lost his life for going on a date.
In fact, just a few hours before Tamika and Travis Wiley's son was killed, police believe Pryor messaged this woman, Alexis Hawkins, asking a 3-word question, when you free. This affidavit claims that while Hawkins agreed to go on a date with Pryor, she simultaneously began messaging her boyfriend, Brian Winston Jr., arranging to rob the unsuspecting victim.
It was a senseless act, and they didn't get nothing out of it. And they took everything from us. You can't escape this type of pain. You can't. There's no running from it. There's no getting away.
While talking to police, Hawkins allegedly admitted she was at the scene inside the victim's car at the time of the shooting, but denied taking part in the violence. For their part, police insist a series of messages between the 2 suspects ties them to the robbery and murder. Pryor's parents say they celebrated his daughter's 3rd birthday without him just a few weeks ago, and the arrest of the 2 accused killers does not ease the family's pain.
I mean, no justice will ever cure my broken heart. It's not going to ever bring my baby back.
It really doesn't matter if they spend the rest of their lives in jail. We lost.
That's what I mean about crimes and stuff like that. After the fact, I don't care about no video and none of that stuff about, oh, we going to catch him and everything. It's too late. Guy's already gone. Already gone. And then you got this numbskull that's running around in England. They think it's a S-iller, a Ariel-iller, Ariel, Ella, they think is running around in England. Yeah. They think somebody running around in England right now. So everybody in England that's rocking up under my voice that comes here every day, I need y'all to be concerned because there might be a situation going on in England right now where you guys need to pay attention to.
Last 2 months,
I'm sorry, New England, Boston. Let's go.
7 bodies have been found.
Some corners of social media, like Facebook, the idea that a serial killer could be on the prowl in New England is getting more popular. This Facebook group, New England SK, has nearly 9,000 members. And in other forums, people are posting their concern that some or all of the bodies recently found in New England might be connected to each other. Since the beginning of March, 7 bodies have turned up in Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts. Some of the bodies are unidentified remains. The bodies discovered in Groton and Killingly, Connecticut are close to a Rhode Island case. So far, law enforcement is not connecting the cases. However, the talk online has grown so loud that recently Groton, Connecticut police issued a statement that said in part, regarding references circulating on social media about incidents in the state of Rhode Island, we currently have no information connecting those events to any of the incidents in Groton. Here in Massachusetts, the discovery of a human skull in Plymouth and another set of remains in Framingham is also being looked at.
Damn.
In the late 1980s, a serial killer struck the New Bedford area. 9 women murdered, 2 missing. Author Maureen Boyle covered the case at the time and wrote a book about it. She is skeptical that a new serial killer might be at work right now.
Just because you have bodies found in a variety of places in New England, that does not mean that there's a serial killer on the loose in the area.
Boyle is concerned that online speculation can hurt people.
This is not a game. These involve real people, these involve real families. This is serious business.
I checked on the 2 Massachusetts cases. On that body that was found in Framingham recently, the district attorney's office is saying a case is under investigation, but it does not appear that person was a victim of foul play. Now, as for the remains of the human skull that was found in the woods of Plymouth, the Plymouth County DA's office says that case remains under investigation. Reporting live from Brockton tonight, I'm Bob.
Again, we do not want to be investigating nothing because we want to be deterrent bound. We like to deter stuff so that it don't happen in the first place. So all of this after the fact stuff is real scary. People out in Massachusetts, Boston, New England area, on the swivel and stay on point to make sure that nothing happens to you or your family because it's going down. A lot of people are not covering these stories because they don't have 570 views and all of that stuff or whatever like that. But we cover these stories. And we want to know what you got to say about it in the comments because that's where I'm coming to right now. What we got here? Natalie says, so much evil all around. I wouldn't want to live around where they move those bones. Kendra says, sad. They can't defend themselves though. You see that? No. Quana. That's from Angels Among Us. Thank you so much, Angels. Thank you so much. Black 999C, not a self-defense expert, but did have training in it. Kendra Walker laughing. What you laughing at? What we got up here? Black says, no lethal self-defect weapons are great. Recommends I do judo. Lots of years. If you're able to defend yourself like that, an attacker is stunned most of the time. Okay, do the judo. Quana says, Miss Cleo better get paid if she gonna find them missing folks. That wasn't funny. Ken Patchy says, in other news in the world is rules by fallen angels, reptilian and demons, PDF. Okay, Batty Lynn, she says, she's like, wow. Good morning, Batty. How you doing? Light, let's go internet sleuths. What you got right here? We got Angel says, aren't they also searching for a serial killer in Austin, Texas? I don't know, but I don't know how the internet is giving them more information, and it seems like what they got going on out there because a lot of these people are not really paying attention like they used to be. We don't have the quality of detectives and the quality of police that we used to have back in the days. We don't got the Matlocks and the guys like the Columbos and all of that. I know we got this technology and everything, but you have to want to work first. That's number one. You got to want to work first. How about that? Unknown says, what a bad time to live in a country with no self-defense laws. You can't defend yourself in England at all. You go to jail for pepper spray. Damn. In England, you said, but this was in New England. But I like to know that. You can't even defend yourself out there, huh? might intercept those memories. What else you got here? We got Michelle that says, great job pulling all those reports, Boogotti. You are appreciated. Thank you so much, Michelle. Thank you for noticing. Black 999C was about to run for Tommy XD. Quana says, better protect that noggin. All those memories floating around out in the open. There you go. There you go. Kendra's like, yeah, y'all. We got it going on in here. I love the sense of community. I love when we come to the top, to the comments, and we have somewhere to talk about what we're talking about. These clips, sense of community, and have somewhere to say what you want to say, to have other people go back and forth with you. That's what our bottom line is about, and that's why we do it. What? Every single day. So if you want to become a member, this is a good time to do that. Also, double tap that screen to let everybody know that we've been here since 6 o'clock in the morning getting it in. Your boy's over here sweating. I know y'all see it. Woo! I'm sweating, but you know what? It's worth it, because getting this information out and getting the channel where it needs to be is definitely what we're about. And I appreciate you guys so much that I want you to go to the description right now, because there's $750 worth of surveys in the description. That's right. You fill out a survey today. There's one for $500. There's another one for $250. Got a chance to make some money. I got a chance to make some money. So go ahead and fill out one of those surveys and let me know if you guys get some money. I like to know that, because we're all about that money, 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 money. Also, y'all know what's coming. Y'all know what's coming in a few days. That's right. We got the Show Your Talent search that's coming up, that I'm going to be hosting in the 5 boroughs of New York. That's the Bronx, Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island. If you have a talent, I said talent. That doesn't mean singer or dancer or rapper. Talent is overall. You got a talent, I want to see it. Come on down. I'm going to give you guys a location so I can see what your talent is. I'm going to give you $250 if you're the best of the bunch at the event in the Bronx, Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, or Staten Island. After that, we're going to have one finale where one person can step up and win $1,000. And this is all in cash, you guys, tax-free. We're going to pay the taxes because we know it's real out here. I want you guys to come out. I want to get to know you. I want to meet you. Go ahead and go into the website, www.drinkbigdrip.com. That's 2 G's and 2 P's. www.drinkbigdrip.com. Send me an email. What you do there is just say, hey, my name is such and such. I'm in the Bronx. I want to be a part of the show. Boom, you've just been entered into the show, and you guys can actually come and show your talent. It's just that easy. You can do it at info@Drink Big Drip, or you can actually just go right and send an email to us, and I'll have your name, your location, and we can do it from there, you guys. With that being said, I hope you guys have a fantastic Monday, my favorite day of the week. Why? Because people can't make excuses on Monday. You got to be about the work on Monday, and you can't talk about, well, it's almost the weekend. Nope. They got to get to work today. So it's my favorite day of the week. Hopefully you guys understand why. And what I want to say to you guys is have a fantastic day. Stay healthy, stay safe. Do me a favor. This is going to be your last chance to double tap that screen or become a member. You already know how we do it. After you get the glove, you start to get the gems. We start sending you promotional stuff out, t-shirts and all types of stuff like that. Thank you guys for coming to spend the day with me, the morning. I can't wait till tomorrow. We're going to have much more follow-ups, much more stories, and we're going to keep on doing what we do here at Our Bottom Line. And with that being said, y'all could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. So until tomorrow, y'all already know what it is.